In its earnings report, Twitter announced first quarter revenue of $250 million, beating expectations, but slowing growth among active users as Wall Street worried. After last week's report, the stock dropped more than 8%. For the year, it is down over 42%. Dick Costolo is the CEO of Twitter, a position he has held since 2010. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
We want to talk about many things, including your stock price. What's going on?
Well, I'm not an expert in market fluctuations, but we had a great first quarter. As you mentioned, revenue accelerated more than 119%. And on the user growth front, we've got a very clear product roadmap over the course of the year that we think will really help us bridge that gap between the global awareness of Twitter. It's really become embedded in the culture of the world. It's so much bigger than any one product.
Are you going to face international competition from the growing microblogging industry from China?
I think that when we think about Twitter and services like Weibo in China, we think of our platform as truly being global and growing really around the world, as opposed to any one local or regional player competing with us.
But it's not just Wall Street. Atlantic had an article titled "A Eulogy for Twitter." When you see that, Dick, do you think news of my death has been greatly exaggerated, or do you think, look, we need to do something
here? Well, it's definitely the former. I mean, it's been the case that since the company was founded in 2006, and frankly, for a number of other companies in the Valley, that people are constantly saying it's over for so and so, and then then they say it again 6 months later, and again a year later, and a year later, and a year later. So that's been something that we've heard, and other companies in the Valley have heard for quite some time.
But can you specifically address the concerns that Twitter's growth has slowed as compared to other new things like Instagram, which is owned by Facebook?
Sure. I mean, we had re-accelerating user growth in our biggest market, the U.S., in Q1. So I feel great about the growth that we're driving into the platform via the roadmap changes we're making. The 3.3 billion views of the tweets about the Oscars in just the 48 hours after the Oscars shows the incredible reach and distribution of the platform. So we're working on transforming that reach and impact into the logged-in experience, and I feel really good about the roadmap we've got to do that.
And how do you do that, transform? How are you going to transform that reach? With Amazon, right?
Sure. So the announcement we're making with Amazon this morning is a great example of this in-the-moment commerce. When we talk about now commerce and real-time commerce, if somebody tweets something with a link to Amazon, and you reply to that with reply to that tweet and just say #Amazon cart, we'll put that item in your Amazon cart once you connect your Twitter account to Amazon. So that notion of seeing something that somebody talks about and then just saying, I want that, I want to put it in my Amazon cart, you can do that now with in-the-moment commerce.
Some countries, are trying to shut down Twitter, including Turkey and other places. How successful are they? And can it be shut down?
Well, I think that we were shut down briefly in Turkey. The Constitutional Court there said that we needed to be turned back on, and we weren't turned back on. I think that we continue to talk to the government in Turkey and work with them on understanding. Obviously, we need to make sure we abide by the rule of law in the countries in which we operate. And as long as we have appropriate legal requests for the content that those countries have concerns with, we'll act on those.
But as a result of what happened in the Arab Spring, especially in Cairo, and the use of Twitter there, in Tunisia, are you seeing what's been the overall impact of that in terms of Twitter? Well, that governments say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Sure. I'd say in the countries in which we operate, we have ongoing dialogue and requests about content that they feel is against the law in those countries.
Does it include China?
Well, we're blocked in China. Right. We and a number of other services are blocked in China. There's what they call the Great Firewall, which is their comprehensive system for blocking content. We do have a number of users in China that route around the Great Firewall through things like these virtual private networks and use the service.
Right. Dick, in your former life, I learned from reliable sources that you were in Second City. You're a stand-up comedian, improv. Has that served you in your current job?
I think it's served me throughout my life in general, mostly with raising kids.
Yeah. Okay. And 140 characters. Why 140 characters?
Oh, it started out as really to make sure that the system could operate between mobile carriers, and there was a 160 character limit. So 140 characters for the tweet, 15 for the username, and then we thought we'd reserve 5 for future use, and haven't gotten to those yet.
And then Bluebird is Larry. I like that.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.